Musk hits Mamdani, and then Mamdani hits back. So, Rob, if you want to pull that up. Musk hits Mamdani for appointing non-firefighter to the fire department of New York. Let me say this to you. A non-firefighter became appointed for fire department of New York, and Elon said, people will die, okay? Elon says people will die because of this. Proven experience matters when lives are at stake. Zohran Mamdani appoints Lillian Bonsigno as the new FDNY commissioner, although she's never served as a Rob, keep that tweet up. Although she's never served as a firefighter. Rob, can you keep that tweet up? I was reading it. Although she's never served as a firefighter, she's confident that won't matter. Bonsier is a trailblazer for the LGBTQ community. Tell me how much that makes sense. Vinny, I'm going to come to you.
Well, I mean, January is going to be one of those, like, let's see if the proof is in the pudding. And guess what? Mamdani's going to show it to you. All the people in New York, all the young people, all the white liberal women, they're like, yeah. And all the young people are like, he's going to give us free stuff. You're all going to see it come crashing down. He, on top of this, appointing while you were saying it, I'm like, appointing someone who has never even been a firefighter to run the fire department is like hiring a vegan to run a steakhouse because they said, oh, I love cows. It doesn't work like that. You have to know the ins and outs of everything. You've had to have lived the life, Pat. And that's, by the way, this is the tip of the iceberg. He also hired an ex-con who was in prison for kidnapping and armed robbery to guess what? To work in the Community Safety Advisory Board. What are we even talking about here? So listen, Elon is right, Pat, and I feel bad for the New Yorkers because everything that we've warned you about and we've told you guys about, January it starts, and I'm telling you right now, this is going to cause a lot of harm. Just like we saw with in California with all the fires, when all of a sudden we started peeling back the layers, and you're like, wait a minute, this chick is running this? She's never done that. What? And look at how it all fell down. It's not going to look good, Pat. They keep confusing symbolism with leadership, and the people are going to be the ones that pay the price. So you're going to see it. It's going to happen. Yeah, and look at that. That's Mamdani. He appointed a convicted armed robbery to a transition team. Good luck. Good luck, New York. And by the way, Mamdani, really, really close to the LGBTQ community. I'm very curious why a guy, a Muslim man who, by the way, I'm reading the Quran right now. You guys have no idea the attitude towards these people, towards women and gays. It's kind of weird that he's so pro-trans, so pro-gay, and putting up people in positions that don't belong there. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird that you connect the dots of what he's actually doing. What is he up to? I'm very curious.
There's a brief story, and Pat would know this about what happened in Iran. The Red-Green Alliance is real, and it's happened in 1979. The Islamists team up with the communists, and they overthrow governments, and they try to put their Sharia law in there. And then you know what happens to all the communists and the Marxists and the socialists? Once they get power, the Islamists kill them. So that's what's happened in Iran, which I'm sure we'll cover. But back to New York, is there a bigger dichotomy of ideology and belief and doing things than Elon Musk and Zohran Mamdani? We talked about builders versus destroyers, how it's so easy to destroy and tear down. It's hard to build. There's only two ways to have the biggest building. You actually build a building that's taller than the biggest building, or you just tear down all the other buildings. So Elon Musk is a full-on capitalist, unapologetic, and Zohran Mamdani is a democratic socialist Islamist. So he believes in wealth redistribution, and Elon Musk is creating wealth. So here's my advice for people in New York. Stop listening to what Zohran Mamdani says. Just watch what he does. Watch who he brings into his cabinet. Watch how the taxes will go up. Watch what happens. Forget about your feelings. Watch what actually happens to your city with these nonsensical people that he puts into power.
By the way, Rob, can you pull up the tweet by Mamdani responding to Musk? Yeah, so here's a tweet, and I want you to hear from this chief commissioner of the fire department in New York. He responds to Elon, experience does matter, which is why I appointed the person who spent more than 30 years at EMS. You know, the workforce that addresses at least 70% of all calls coming into the fire department of New York. Rob, do you have that clip I sent you with her speaking? This is the commissioner, by the way, of the fire department of New York. Let me know if you're worried about your fire in New York when something happens. Can you pull up this clip, Rob, that I just texted it to you?
Is a career first responder. In just 9 days, she'll be running the world's busiest fire department, one of the most important appointments of the incoming administration.
And they deserve a leader who cares about their work because she did it herself.
Where's the girl?
Who understands every detail and who will fight tirelessly to empower FDNY and make it the best firefighting force in the world.
Lillian Bonsignor began her career as an EMT in 1991 and was ultimately promoted to chief of the city's EMS division, where she served for 3 years before retiring in 2022. Although she never served as a firefighter, she's confident that won't matter.
I know the job. I know what the firefighters need, and I can translate that to this administration who's willing to listen. I know what EMS needs. I have been EMS for 30 plus years.
Bonsignor is a trailblazer for the LGBTQ community, who will serve as the FDNY's first openly gay commissioner. She's a highly respected, detail-oriented manager whose style has been compared to NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch, who will remain in her post in the new administration.
I am so confused. I have no idea what the hell is going on right now. I'm so lost.
I want
Well,
to
at least they check the DEI LGBT box.
Let me just show you something. Rob, did you guys see the video of the female cop that was trying to get this guy in the middle of the freeway 2 days ago, 3 days ago, and what the guy did to the female cop? Did you guys see this video or not? Have you guys seen it?
I saw it.
Rob, can you pull this up? What I just sent you. And when you pull it up, Rob, can you go right in the middle of it? Go to like the second 50. Go to 52nd right there. Watch this, folks. That's a cop car, okay, that pulls up. That video is a TMZ video. This is Seattle, Washington State. Go ahead. So that's the patrol car. She's trying to find out what the hell is going on with this guy in the middle of the street. And look what he does. He all of a sudden pulls up. He's like, what are you going to do about it? Watch this. Pulls up, opens the door. Keep in mind, this is a cop in Seattle.
He leaves it. What the hell is she doing?
That's her.
What?
Boom. Drops the cop.
Oh my God. Oh.
And he drives off.
Brother, if there's guns in the car, she could have shot him. She should have shot him.
Drives off. So you know what the moral of the story is? You ever hear me give that stat about all these people that are the jobs that are men do and in jobs that women do? I don't want a man at a daycare babysitting my kids. I don't. I want a woman. They're more gentle. They're more loving. They're more caring. Yesterday, we were at the movie theater. One of our guys' son has diarrhea. TMI for you guys. Do you know how many times she takes him to the bathroom to change the diapers? Over and over and over, and loving and caring and do all this. Imagine the day that Adam's got a kid and that boy's got diarrhea 7 times in a row. Can you guys visualize Adam changing diapers? Can you visualize that picture right there? Adam right now is getting second thoughts of even thinking about having kids. And last week he was open to the idea. Now he probably is delaying that for another 15 more years. What's the moral of the story? Nothing against women and men. There are certain jobs I just don't want to see a man doing. And there are certain jobs I just don't want to see a woman doing. And so for you to say the commissioner of the fire department, the logic to say, we need a lesbian chief commissioner to be up there doing that because we feel safer. I wonder how many New Yorkers who are willing to set aside their politics will say, yeah, that's the right decision. I feel so much safer now. Tom, I'll give you the final thoughts on this.
Yeah, 30 years answering 911 calls. Is that important? Yes. Does that give you exposure to the problems? Yes. Does it allow you to look at data and say how many fire calls, how many paramedic heart attack calls, how many this? But you know what it doesn't give you? It doesn't give you the moral authority to look all of the battalion chiefs in the eyes and say, what equipment do you need in the parts of New York City where you have crumbling buildings and your team is expected to go in there to rescue people and to save lives? What is the equipment that that you need in there? What's different? What are the training that we need? What is change going on here? This is a symbolic hire. I don't care what her background is. I actually don't. Do I think that she was probably a good manager? He, she, whatever she identifies at. I will give her the respect of her pronouns while not, belittling. But the point is, you've been answering 911 calls, and now you've got the entire chief. The reason that you needed a police chief that represented the police chief, because there's a hell of a difference between answering a 911 call and people understanding what it's like to be shot at by people you're trying to arrest. That's why that's important. So don't you think it's important that someone that's been out there, because remember, New York is not perfect. The streets are narrow. The complications are many. The infrastructure is difficult. The buildings are old. The buildings are tall, and these people fearlessly walk inside to save lives every day. Do I want a battalion chief who rose through the ranks, that understands all that, that's been there, that can say, I don't know which of the city recommended this model fire truck because it didn't work. These three were great. I want that guy, and I want that guy there for the safety, because if we're talking about the safety in New York City, you want somebody there. And this, to me, is a symbolic hire, which is DEI, and trying to say, well, did answer the 911 calls. I'm sorry, I'm not buying it as an excuse for qualifications.
Pat, I know, like 20 seconds. I kind of brushed over it, but I want to make that point clear. Like, Mamdani to me is like the Trojan horse. Pat, think about it. He's hiring ex-convicts from prison for robbery and kidnapping to head the Community Safety Advisory Board. He was in a church with a gay LGBTQ that's like, hey, the children. So he's pushing the ideology on the children. And now you're hiring a he, she, whatever that's never been a fireman. It's almost as if he's coming with that smile and he's slowly going to destroy the freaking community. Guys, Adam, I'm not playing it lightly. That's like a Trojan horse, and he's doing it with that stupid face. When you look at the history and you look at what he actually wants to do, that's the Trojan horse, and he's trying to destroy a freaking city, just like they're doing in Minnesota, and just how they're trying to do that shit in freaking Texas. Sorry for my language.
Interesting. I'm just excited for the 2026 fireman calendar of the year. You know, we've seen these calendars. It'll be littered with they, them, trans, LGBT. And you know, they say that facts don't care about your feelings. Well, fires don't care about your feelings. We saw what happened in California when the Palisades burnt down. God forbid something ridiculous happens in New York. I'm just warning New York, be smart.
And by the way, you know how Andrew Schultz said many years ago, he said, I judge a great president by the way he moves merch. He said, Biden doesn't know how to move merch. Trump knows how to move merch, right? I wonder how much merch those calendars are going to sell of Fire Department of New York. I'd love to see her be in it, and maybe we're wrong. Maybe 50 million people order it, and you see it in offices.
They will.
And I have no problem being wrong. And if 50 million sell, I'll buy 5 of them myself and hand it over to Vinny, Adam, and Tom and Humberto. But
I need Tabasco for my eyes.
Right now, with everything that's happening, I think the spiritual battle that the nation, that the world is going through right now, I think it's more obvious than I think it's ever been. And I think letting people know, I was watching Gladiator, and they kept saying, hold the line. I watched another movie. I was watching Game of Thrones. Hold the line. When it comes to Christianity and your spirituality, I think having faith and not caring about anything. Dylan, I actually, Pat, and you remember this on the plane coming here. Guys, on the flight here, the turbulence was so bad. I have a huge, my biggest fear of all is flying. Ask Pat. I'm sitting next to Pat. We're dropping, by the way, we're in Aspen. The mountains are like this. The altitude, it's horrible. And we're coming in for landing, and we finally all nervous. And then Pat's like, ask Dylan, like, Dylan, were you worried? Were you worried? Were you scared about anything? And Dylan, how old is Dylan, Pat?
12.
Pat?
12. He's 12 years old.
Okay, lumps and Showman. 12 years old, goes, Dad, no, I'm not afraid. I have faith because I'm not scared about anything. Because if anything, God forbid, happens, I'm going to be with God and Jesus Christ in heaven. So again, wearing this shirt, guys, I can't tell you how many messages I get of people seeing the back of faith over fear, and people like, hey, what does that mean? What does Hebrews mean? And then the conversation sparks. And I learned from Dylan at 12 years old, in that moment, what do you have to be afraid of? Nothing. You have nothing to be afraid of if you have faith. And yeah, we have the faith over fear hat. Boom. just like that. And the Valuetainment. Guys, I rock this all the time. And yeah, if you want, go to vtmerch.com and rock it.
If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.